Hi, I'm Paul Germain. Welcome to another session of Smart Boating. You know, it's early December, which is kind of a tough time of the year for boaters around here. It's only good if you're in Florida or California. But there is one bit of bright news, and that's that Christmas is right around the corner. So there's the chance of getting some good gifts at Christmas to help the next boating season. So that's going to be our focus today. And joining me is a pretty knowledgeable guy in that area. His name is David Fooey. He's the hub manager at West Marine. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great. David, we've got kind of a fun show today, Christmas gifts for boaters. I think people are going to enjoy it. But before we get into it, can you share a little bit about your boating background and a little bit about maybe some of the nonprofit causes in your organization?
Sure. So I've been boating since I was a kid, really. You know, we had a family, my grandfather's place, at the Cape, and he had a boat, and also had some aunts and uncles in the Duxbury and Plymouth area, so we were sailors. So I like to say I enjoy the best of both worlds. I am a sailor, but I own a powerboat, and
wow.
I have been at West Marine now a little under 3 years, and I've been running their what is the pro sales wholesale, which is the hub, as you mentioned.
Okay.
I'm also waiting on my application for Coast Guard captain's license as well.
Excellent.
So,
excellent.
yeah.
Now, I know West Marine is well known. What may not be well known is some of the nonprofit endeavors that they get involved in. Can you just share us briefly a little snapshot of that?
Yeah, great. Thank you for mentioning that. So particularly December, we always do a promotion every year for what we call a Blue Horizon, and it's the West Marine Foundation, and it supports 63 local organizations across the country. And every dollar that we raise, and these are at all West Marine stores, goes directly to these organizations. And it's really to promote youth, water, sports, and recreation for the next generation of boaters. So we're excited about that, and hope folks, any amount is good.
Yeah.
So that's great.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, you've got just the right experience to do the show today, so let's get right into it.
Sure.
Like any topic we cover here, it's just a huge topic. We could talk for weeks on it.
Yep.
But we'll just cover the highlights, and I want to make a couple important points. One is that what we're going to show people today are representative of the category. So they're fine products, but they're not the only products in whatever we're showing, so people want to keep that in mind. They're ideas. Right. The other thing is that you and I are speaking our personal opinions. They don't reflect the store or any background I have. They're just our personal opinions as experienced boaters, what we think might be good gifts.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm with you.
All right. So with that, let's get started. We're in winter, so we might as well start with winter.
Yeah.
The boats are away. Can't do much boating around here. But I think we've got some magazines lined up here. We've got boating magazines, Soundings, Boat US, and On the Water. All of these I think are pretty popular, and I think they're a great way to stay connected to the water this time of year.
Absolutely, I certainly do that. You know, when you can't be boating, it's good to look at pictures of boating, and also, who doesn't like to think about the next boat too? And I get a couple of these magazines, and Soundings is great for New England boaters because it really covers the New England and On the Water, of course, too. And then you have the national magazines like Boating, which are great for ideas and do-it-yourself and how-tos.
Right,
So.
and like you say, dream boats. And a lot of the boats I see in there are 42-foot consoles with triple 450s on them. So
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's good to dream. You got to have a plan just in case, right?
That's right. Well, let's see if we can slide those off our little tray here.
Absolutely.
Here's another example of written material that people might enjoy. This one I see, Eldredge's Tides and Currents book. I see it's being very popular with sailors in particular.
Sailors, but any boater, because this has been published since somewhere in the late 1800s by the same family, and I give these as gifts every year myself to some of the boaters because it's got all your updated tide charts as well as your current movement,
yes,
and some basics that is great as a reference point for boaters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's super.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here,
Absolutely.
to you. Here's one that people may not think about, but it's just a basic waterproof chart. I mean, a lot of people have, especially the larger boats, they have electronics.
Right.
But you got to have a chart still as a backup, right?
Right, and as any, somebody who's been in boating, and a Coast Guard captain will tell you, that you should always have backup charts on board. And as you mentioned, a great feature about these, they're waterproof, which is nice. So, not that you can dunk them, but if they get sprayed, it's not a big deal. And they're updated, of course, annually. And
Yes.
they can focus on a section, that you can fold them up where you're boating. So
Well,
it's
that's
great to have.
important, because around here I see sandbars shift a lot and channels shift a lot.
Yep.
And the updates could be really helpful to
Yep,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah. Now here's another gift idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the boats that I've owned in the past. This is a Donzi 2+3. Kind of a neat boat.
Yeah.
And Christmas present I
Fast
got
boat.
a few years ago. Yeah, it's a fast boat. Was someone took one of the pictures that we'd taken at a lake in Tennessee, and they framed it up, and I just really enjoy it. And I know other people that had pictures of their boats painted
Yep.
for them, big sailboats and that sort of thing.
Yep.
I think that's a great gift.
It's a terrific gift, and especially these days with iPhones, and you can take great pictures with those as well. Or if you have
Right.
somebody that has painting skill, artist friends and whatnot, but who doesn't like a picture of their own boat, right?
Yes,
And
right.
so that's a great idea, and then you can get it framed up fairly inexpensively too. So.
Right. And a lot of boaters don't have that, right? So
Exactly.
it's an unusual gift.
It's nice to have in your den or office wall, and it's a
absolutely.
great conversation starter.
It's a neat gift.
Indeed.
Another thing that people may not think of is the fact that there's a lot of, places where boat stuff is. For example, there's the Lowell's Boat Museum up in Amesbury. There's the New Hampshire Boat Museum in Wolfboro. There's the Clayton Boat Museum in Clayton, New York. And I think a lot of people boaters might really enjoy someone giving them a membership, which start $30, $40 for an individual membership, and or a free pass, if you will, to one of the programs that they run, because they oftentimes run boat building programs at different times of the year, and so for $800 to $1,000, someone can participate in building their own boat.
Absolutely, and those are all great ideas. And again, similar to the magazines too, that's an opportunity where you can go and touch them and feel them, type of thing too, and learn a little something in the season, much like we talked about looking at magazines too. And as you say, they run these great programs where for the additional money, you can go and actually, as a winter project, you can build a dinghy or something
Yes.
like that too.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't that sound fun?
it does sound very fun. Exactly. So.
Someone should give me that.
And especially so you can say, I built that. That's always nice.
Yes, a lot
So.
of pride to that. And,
Yep.
and on a related note, the other thing I think about is the United States Power Squadron. I've been a member for years, and that could be a great gift, a membership to that, because they teach piloting and basic navigation, different skills like that, right?
All those things, and I have friends, and she's fairly new to boating. He's been in boating, but she went and she took that online course, because and as you suggest with the membership, you can do that.
Yeah.
And it's always great to bone up on skills like navigation, and either to learn them or to bone up on them, because you never know, when you'll need them too. And they have great little tests too about rules of the road and things like that are very helpful for
Yeah,
boaters.
they do a great job.
Yep.
The other thing I'm thinking of, up and beyond written materials and museums and classes, is ideally a lot of people would like to charter and just get away, get out of town, right?
Well, you can count me among them. So I've done a number of chartering in the Caribbean, Leeward Islands and the British Virgin Islands and the Bahamas too. As a matter of fact, we're scheduled to go in March. It's a bigger ticket item, but it's a terrific opportunity to sail or boat someplace different, and
Yes.
Obviously it's warm and lovely. So
Yes.
if people are thinking of that, and you can get some couples together to do that, it defrays the cost and is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good winter Christmas present and good winter relief.
Indeed.
So let's
Indeed.
switch gears here. There is spring coming, and as spring comes, I find that I need to wash and wax my boat. We've got some different cleaners up here. The one on the left is the cleaner that you'd use to wash down the boat. And then we've got cleaner, like a wax cleaner there. We got some towels and some sponges, and And I think my experience has been to use the right products makes a big difference in how
Indeed.
much effort and how much results. And again, like we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of different good manufacturers. These are some examples of them. But this is kind of the stuff that you might get a boater as a Christmas gift that they would want and need, right?
Sure, and you know, you have a good representation, as you said, of some of the major and popular products. Meguiar's is very popular. I've used both of those, the Meguiar's and the Colonite. I know a lot of professional detailers use those products as well too. And the Opine wax, wash and wax, is great for general cleaning. And this is a great idea for either a stocking stuffer or a little basket for the boater in your life. That you could fill with those type of products that are always well received, because you're always I thought I had enough of that, I ran out of it. But if you have them as gifts, it's great.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And again, if you get the premium products, they're expensive. I mean, this wax is $30, I think. The cleaner is about $20. I think the wash is around the $30 range too. So it adds up quick.
It does, and well, as I tell people that come in the store too, it is boating, and boat stands for bring on another 1,000. But in all seriousness, though, you're protecting your investment too with these products, and that microfiber towel, those are terrific too.
Aren't they?
Yeah. Those work.
Especially with the new waxes. The new waxes are a little different than the old waxes,
Yep.
and the microfibers make a big difference in terms of getting it off.
Yep,
right?
they absolutely do. Yep,
Yeah.
and they're great to have. So.
All right, and then even the sponge. I mean, just to get a sponge with this type of mesh in it, I find makes a difference too.
Oh, absolutely. And that's another thing that you're always looking for. And as you say, the right product is great for an effective job, so that you're not having to redo or that type of thing as well too.
Right,
So,
right.
absolutely.
All right. Well, you have room for those over there.
I certainly do. Let me
Okay.
take those over there for you, and let's slide those off.
One last one here.
Very good.
So in the spring, you get the hull all squared away, you clean it, you wax it, it's all nice and protected, it looks shiny. And then, of course, most boats, all boats have a bottom, right?
Right. Well, let's hope.
Right, they have a bottom. And what I was going to say is that some boats have a bottom that needs to be painted, whereas other boats don't. So if we're in freshwater, not so much of an issue as it is in saltwater.
Right.
Because we have all the barnacles and the mussels and the seaweed and everything else that likes to attach, algae.
Right.
And my experience has been that the paints have changed a lot over the years. So when I started as a kid, it was a blade of paint. You put on like copper, basically copper, and it wore off, and you put it on the next year.
Right.
And paints have really transitioned. Now you've got multi-season paints, you've got paints without copper. You've got a lot of different alternatives, right?
You're absolutely right. Right. And as you had mentioned before too, these products are pricey, but the technology has advanced tremendously. And you're right, for various applications. Some want a harder epoxy type thing versus the ablative. Most folks will do the ablative in salt water here in New England. And you're right, if you put a couple of coats on, you can actually do multi-season. And the rollers that you have there is a good example of using the right applicator too, to make sure that it's the most effective that you can use for that too.
Yeah, because they like to go on very thin, these new paints.
Yep.
Not in contrast to the old ones, you just put on pretty thick,
Yep.
get more copper on there.
Yep.
The new paints, they clog up the rollers if you use it at the wrong nap. So it's important to get good advice at the marine store, and then it's a good gift because the boater is going to have to figure out some way to get the paint to the hull. Right?
That's a great point about the rollers too, and you're right, and that is a very I can tell you that would be very welcomed, to have a gallon of paint. You might think, well, gee, that's not a very snazzy present, but I can tell you boaters would love it, because you're right, about
you
the
have to
product,
do
so.
it, and it's expensive.
Exactly.
Right. Well, let's look at a couple other things here. Tools. I have a Volvo Penta outdrive on mine, and the propeller attaches to a hex bolt. So I need a hex key set. So it's a small thing, it might be $15, $20, but it's critical on my boat. So that's a great gift for me.
Terrific gift, you're right. Specific tools for boaters. There's some general tools, but as you point out in your case, and probably many boats, a set of hex nuts or wrenches is key to
Yes.
some of the repairs and some of the things that you may need to do on the water. And they're small enough and handy enough to stow away, which is nice too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let's give you that one here. And here's another idea in the tool category. This is adjustables and vice grips. Again, almost staples of a marine tool kit, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's, as I referred to, the basic tools that you would need on any boat, and these would be them. And it's nice because they come as a set like that too. Whereas
Right.
you might have you might buy one or have one and not the other. So this is a great idea for a nice little gift for under the tree, because it has them both.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes. Everyone's going to want that.
Yep.
Now these are interesting. These came out probably maybe 10 years ago, a multifunction tool. My understanding is that boaters that do a certain type of boater, like boating, like kayaking or paddleboarding, maybe small sail, they find these particularly helpful, right?
Yeah, you're right, Paul, and it's a great tool, kayakers and sailors, because they're compact. You can carry them on you. They have multi-functions, but really, every boater or many boaters have these too, because they're very handy for that small little, repair, and you don't have to drag out the tools, or remember to bring the specialty tools
Right.
as well too,
Right.
for a small little repair. So they're great, and
Yeah.
it's a great product.
Yeah. Look at that. Light. So light is like really important on a boat. I find myself oftentimes, down the bilge, checking out the bilge pump, or maybe twisting off an oil filter or something like that, and trying to balance the flashlight and twist, and it's crazy.
Yep.
So something like this, a headlamp, is a great gift, right?
It's a terrific gift, and it's a great little stocking stuffer too. Again, as you say, it's hands-free with the headlamp. And it's also, great for even, nighttime boating, because it's out in front of you, which, can help with the glare too. And you can turn it on and off so that, you don't have too much exposure. And it's greater on the dock when it's dark, or, if you're fumbling with the anchor and so forth. So that's a great little stocking stuffer to have.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Neat little gift.
Yep. It's always appreciated. And I can tell you, even for walking the dog, it's appreciated.
Yes, no, it has a lot of applications.
Multifunction.
Here's the final example in our tool category, rescue tape. This is tape that actually adheres to itself in contrast to the object. I found it to be really useful. It's only like $12. I think it's a great thing for a boater.
Once again, as you talk about, some of the basics in a toolkit, that type of repair, epoxy tape like that, is key to have handy and on board for, even the minor, the minor things, but also too, if you have a hose go or something like that,
Yeah.
Obviously,
Makes me feel a lot more comfortable that I'm going to be able to repair it.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that you can get back to port without an expensive tow. Exactly. So,
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's switch gears here and go into the core of this boating season, summer, fall.
Yep.
Everyone's carrying a smartphone these days. And
Oh, yes.
many good applications for a boater, but I always worry about it slipping out of my pocket and going in the drink. And they're expensive.
Yep.
So this, which is an closed, inflatable case, I think is a great gift.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience, it's a terrific gift, because my wife last summer, while getting on the sailboat, actually dumped hers, and it's at the bottom of Salem Harbor, and you say it was expensive to replace. And if she had had that, and it was in her bag actually, not her pocket, so if she had had
Yes.
that, she certainly would have had a phone. It would have been floating, and we wouldn't have had to go through all that. So
Right.
it's a terrific gift. Again, another great stocking stuffer. So and
Right.
save you a lot of heartache and inconvenience.
Yeah, that's a great gift. I want to talk about something people might overlook, and that's sunglasses. I'm going to just hold them up here
Sure.
because they're a little difficult. Well, I can put them down there, I guess.
Yeah, people see 'em.
$200. Not cheap. But I think they're a great investment and a great Christmas present, because your eyes are so important, and you get so much glare bouncing off the water that you wouldn't get in your day-to-day activities, that to have the proper sunglasses is a smart move.
Absolutely, and they can become critical too, because as you talk about with glare and polarization, if you're running at any kind of speed, in the appropriate place, but you want to make sure that you're hitting all the navigational aids. If you have some glare and you can't see it, that becomes really important.
It's scary.
Yep, absolutely.
Scary when you can't see.
Yep, and an investment in sunglasses, is key, and for eye health too. And also there are less expensive options. I had a cousin who his wife bought him a pair like that, and he for whatever didn't fit, came in and he wound up with a $75 pair that was terrific for him. So there's that option as well.
Yeah. So either way, they're a good gift.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, here's something, and people might think that at first glance this is really mundane, suntan lotion. But again, my experience has been over the years that technology has changed, and now they get sprays and these different things. But to have the right lotion, which protects you and doesn't come down into your eyes or your mouth or any of these things,
right,
is a great gift.
It's a terrific. Again, I not to beat a dead horse here, but these are great, stocking stuffers or regular gifts too, and it's also our knowledge in terms of skin health and all of that has advanced such, and most people are very conscious of that these days, and they're great gifts to have, and you can stick them on the boat anywhere and have them to reapply if you need it too. So they're terrific to have.
No, they're super. They're super. Well, along those lines, not only have suntan lotions changed, but clothing's changed. So again, tying into what you just said about people's awareness and sensitivity to the rays and trying to avoid skin cancer and burnt skin, a lot of the clothing now that you're able to get is SPF, offers that SPF protection, just like the suntan lotion does. Yep. And you can get shorts and you can get tops, men and women. So I think, again, that's potentially a great gift that someone can go out and enjoy a day of boating and not worry about skin cancer.
And it's interesting, we see a lot of that this time of year, folks buying those type of gifts for the spring. And of course, as spring and summer comes as well too. And as you mentioned, they have the SPF as well as the fast drying technology. And the nice part about something like the shirt too is, towards the end of the day when it gets a little cool and so forth, it's got the sleeves that also protects you, so you don't have to reapply the lotion again if you don't want to too. So those are terrific gifts. And people, love clothes and boating clothes particularly, and they do such a nice job with the styles these days. So.
They do, and that protection is just icing on the cake.
Yep, absolutely.
This is a jacket. We're just going to pull it up here a little bit.
Yep.
And the reason I wanted to point this out was, again, what I find is oftentimes you go out boating, the forecast changes. So it was sunny when you went out, now it's raining. Yep. The other aspect is sometimes I find myself, I've got a destination which has me taking a certain angle at the waves, and I get a lot of spray. So I might wear some rain gear, even though it's a sunny day, because the spray's coming over. Yep. So this can be a great gift too, right?
Yep, and the nice part about these is, they're pretty compact. They fit in a bag or a backpack too, and you can, or if you have a place on board to put them as well too. And you're right, because you can have, time on the water where, you get a little spot sun shower, or as you say, you're heading into the wind and waves, and so you can get some spray over the bow, and it's great to, but which will keep you dry, which is nice too. So
yes,
great to have.
I mean, it seems I can see how people would overlook it, but they shouldn't. It's a great gift idea.
Exactly. Yep, and great, manufacturers too. Again, with the technology. So.
Yep. And along those lines, hats are important, of course, but I guess people can figure that out. That the hat is important to keep, again, avoid the harmful sun. But this is something that they might overlook. I find I go to Misery Island a lot. People take a dinghy and then they'll row in, and that beach is not sandy. It's rocky. Or I might be at a boat ramp, changing a prop or something like that. You never know what's on that boat ramp. So I like shoes like this. They're only like $20. Yep. And they offer you the protection and that ease of mind that you're not going to cut your feet.
Exactly. And as you say, they're relatively inexpensive for great protection. And they're easily stowable too, and you're right. And I've had that experience at Misery Island in Salem too, or other places where you may have boat shoes, but when you want to go ashore in the dinghy or whatnot, those are great to have. So it makes it much easier for handling things, and protects the feet too. So
it's a great gift.
Yes, indeed.
You know, we've been talking about technology changing and the implications and the impact of it. And here's an example here. You know, everyone's familiar with coolers. You had the traditional ones made out of foam that they worked okay, but they were fragile and their insulation qualities were suspect. And now you've got a new wave of new technology where you got thin, light bags that offer great insulation, right?
Absolutely. These, particularly, you know, this product, and there are others too from other manufacturers,
Yes.
but this seems to be the standard and quite popular. But these are amazing at how they keep. I can't tell you how many stories I listen to of people that say, I had a block of ice in my Yeti cooler, and 2 days later it was still a block of ice. So you're right about the technology. It's really quite incredible, and they're very durable, so they last too. They're expensive, but they last.
They do the job, yeah.
Yes.
So that's a nice gift. That's about $200.
Yes, exactly.
Here's another interesting gift. Again, the technology is moving forward. We see that in terms of the ability to waterproof stereo musical systems, and also this one's solar powered, right?
Solar powered and or wireless technology is terrific too in that regard. And it's nice, particularly on a smaller boat, because you can have tunes, and who doesn't enjoy a little music on the water while you're
Right.
relaxing, or
Yes.
with friends and so forth. And this is a great option for that, and relatively inexpensive. And again, with the technology, great sound.
Right, right. And it kind of charges itself. So you don't
Exactly.
have to worry about running down the batteries in the boat.
Which is even better.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. We've got a couple smaller items here. See if we can put those in our little target. So a lot of boaters go out for a reason. In other words, I like to just cruise, but a lot of boaters go out and their objective is to get fish.
Right.
So, and just like with all these other things we've been talking about, new stuff comes out. So it seems to me, if there's a fisherman, a boater or fisherman in your life, they'd really appreciate some new lures.
Sure. Again, back to the theme, of great stocking stuffers too, and you can never have enough lures for the fishermen, and because they snag and they get lost, and as you also mentioned again, the technology not only in fishing gear but lures in terms of what's successful and what works has really advanced too. So
Yes.
yeah, these are great ideas, and they're relatively inexpensive, but they're good quality. So.
$10-12 a pop, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Short money.
Clear those off for you. There you go.
Well, we got a couple other items.
Sure.
This is what they call Boat Connect,
Yes,
and this is a tracking system, right?
it is. So this is a great product actually. It's made by Simrad, and it's the Boat Connect, and it has 3 modes. So you can either do temperature or movement and intrusion, or a high water mark, and you can mix and match those. You could do 2 temperatures and 1 movement, and it also comes with a phone app which can do weather, and it can also do tide tables. It can do trip tracking, voltage, all of that. This is a great thing to have for boaters, particularly you leave your boat, you're away for 2 weeks on vacation.
Right, right. That's a great gift, and that's a fairly new one. And we've got one last item we're going to cover today, and that's electronics. Again, technology is marching on with those, right? A lot of new advanced features, and a lot of features that were on the higher end models have come down, right?
Yes, they have. So, some of the great sonar and ship technology, they're now putting into, mid and starter level in these devices and machines. And, some of them include a transducer, which is very convenient, for the smaller boaters too. And so these are great, and there's a wide range of products out there that are great to have.
Yes.
So.
Well, Dave, it's hard to believe, but it's time for us to wrap up. We've covered a lot of ground here. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just that, obviously I always enjoy talking boating, and I thank you very much for having me here today and talk about some of these great gift ideas. And, it's great if you want to learn more about that. You can certainly visit any of the West Marine stores in the area. We're in Woburn, but there's one in Danvers and one on the South Shore in Braintree. And you can always go to westmarine.com, which will have all of these, and they also have pictures, which I also find is very, good for, stimulating additional ideas. As you said, we covered the surface. So
Very helpful.
thanks again.
Thank you, Dave. And Thank you, Smart Boating viewers, for watching today. If you've got comments, questions, or just want to watch another show, come visit us at our website, www.smartboatingus.com. Thank you.